What's all the Faze stuff? What happened? Apparently everyone left Faze today, like all their content creators. I was gonna take a peek at it. Let's see. Like, I saw even Adapt left, and he'd been in there since, like, the genesis of Faze. Where can I find info on why everyone just left? It's just a joke, no? I don't know. That's what I want to find out. I know there was always, like, that meme of, like, leaving Faze, which I know was never real. But this seems, like, legitimate based on how everyone's talking about it. Blackboy Max's most recent VOD might give some insight. Well, I don't want to go through the entire stream to find the segments. Is there a place I can just read about what's going on? Apparently they got sold. Did Faze get sold again? Because I know Banks just bought it back not that long ago after it really spiraled the shitter. And then he signed, like, a lot of people. Lacey, Ronaldo, Blackboy Max, Rage, and Faze blew up this year. Did he sell it again? I don't see any info on that. I put a good article in Media if you want to check it out. Sure. I'm very curious. Because this was a huge year for that entire organization. I would be very surprised if he sold it. But I've said from the jump, there is no reason to be part of these, like, content orgs. They would have been just fine without it. Oh, it's not from Ronaldo, from Marlon.
I'm kidding about that one, okay? Like, being fully honest right now, boom. Legally, it was just best to not go live, say anything, whatever it is, because y'all know how that can go. You know what I'm saying? We're in a business where things can happen very fast, this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, you know me, I'm from fucking Sweden, it's not even my first language. All of a sudden, I can't even say the right thing, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? This has nothing to do with, this has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, the guys, whatever that is. I'm gonna say right now, we just cannot speak about shit going on with them. I cannot say anything. That's why I'm just trying to be very careful.
That wasn't super helpful. So it's clearly something from an organizational standpoint that went sour, not anything with the rest of the members, which I think is pretty clear. Didn't give me a whole lot of insight. Yeah, it looks like there's literally no info on it at the moment. Just that everyone left. Banks made a tweet saying he has nothing to do with it and he left Faze 4 months ago. So he did sell it again? That it's probably the same thing that happened the first time around, where it's like shitty contracts. They probably tried to, like, take a portion of earnings or something. If FaZe Clan does fall apart, though, I wonder what's going to happen to the esports side of things, because right now it's, from what I can tell, all their content creators. But they have so many, like, top-level esports teams, I wonder what would happen there. People are saying Max put up a video just now. Okay. Let's see. Because if they do have to drop their esports teams, they got some really good players. I would really like to see if they'd be interested in joining Rebellion. They got some talent on their esports roster. I've said from the jump, though, content creators, there's no reason to join an org. Especially in the era of, like, endless collabs. You don't need to be associated with an org to get, like, collabs and stuff and network. Every single one of these guys, if they are, like, legitimately leaving FaZe, are going to be doing just as well, if not better, outside of FaZe.
A lot of big news happening the last 24 hours. I know a lot of people are looking to me for my thoughts, as these are my boys and I went through the process first. As I said before, I want to be respectful of sensitive information. At the same time, as you all know, in this business, conversations often take place with assistant staffers and other people who aren't required to keep secrets, and everybody talks when something like this happens. With that said, I can share a little more of what led to my own departure and what I think may have been the feelings of my bros.
Dude, he talked about why he left Faze, right? I vaguely recall that. Does he go into detail on why everyone else is leaving Faze right now? Because it had to be like a certain thing that changed. Sounds like Banks sold Faze to new leadership and requested they take 20% of creator earnings. Is that confirmed? Because that is literally what I just speculated, that there might be new management looking to take creator earnings, because that used to be commonplace in the industry, and it's one of the things that fucked most of these major orgs in the first place. That greediness. The most an org should get is 1%. I don't think so either. There's no reason, and I've said this from the fucking beginning, there isn't really a reason why an org should be taking streamer earnings. Like Twitch earnings. It'd be taking a percentage of like merch deals or whatever, like whatever they work on together. Like, I just don't see why, again, I don't see why creators in the modern day and age would be signing with orgs if they're going to be leeching a portion of their Twitch earnings. Because it's not like Faze is the reason why they're so big on Twitch. Like, they're not making their money because of Faze on Twitch. So Faze shouldn't get a portion of it. Max said he felt controlled over his career and future, like micromanaged. Again, I vaguely remember him talking about why he made the decision to leave Faze like 6 months ago or whatever. But there had to be something that just changed for everybody else to leave. But it looks like he's mainly talking about his personal experience here. Blackboy Max said it was because they wanted 20% earnings and controlled their content and management. Can you give me a timestamp for that? Where that's at? I'd like to hear where he talks more on that. 1825.
Everything's smooth. When I left, I got told niggas that was there, I'm not talking about the boys, niggas who work for, I got told it'd be the worst decision of my life. I got told I would KMS without being in this shit. You feel me? And I just want to say, I thank God that I bet on myself. You feel me? Like, that I bet on myself and that I just believe in what the fuck I'm trying to do and who I want to be, because like I said, a lot of this shit I want to be a good example for y'all, or like just be a good example of what you can be. I want y'all to be dreamers, bro. Dream as big as you possibly can, bro. You feel me?
That's a wholesome message.
But yeah, so I left, you feel me? Y'all know there's a lot of turmoil, niggas was stoning me, just saying whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, because I had to talk with somebody, I'm not gonna say who the Faze member is, but I had to talk with him. He said, bro, please, bro, just, you feel me? He said,
it's
let us rock, like, you know what I'm saying? We got what we.
Where he talks about like the coaching creator earnings. Okay, here.
See that little townhouse? Like, I'll give you one part. Gang, you see that little townhouse? You see that little townhouse that Max was in? M Faze? They tried to make that nigga pay 20 bands a month.
There's gonna be 3 webcams on this one stream moment here.
Or give a percentage of myself. What the fuck? But Max is such a good nigga, he just, yo, bro, I just want to. And now niggas like Max look crazy, look like egoed out niggas. No, that shit not cool though. Like,
So it is percentages then. It looks like whatever Banks sold it to is trying to take more of their creator earnings, if that's accurate. Unsurprising. That sounds like esport, well, not esports orgs, content orgs. What's interesting is all the Faze guys have said they didn't give percentage. What they paid the 20K a month. Welcome back, Machinima. Yeah, pretty much. Oh man, what's sad is there's so many people that probably don't even remember Machinima now. Fuck. Good reference though. I'm sure we'll know more about what all happened here soon enough. They just lost literally all of their creators in one fell swoop. They're going to put out a statement. And if Jev leaves, then you know Faze is actually in the gutter. Irredeemable. As of right now, I don't think Jev is left, but if he does, you know it's over. Adapt already left. The last one is Jev. You saw Banks' new video? What do you mean? How new? Does he talk about it? He just posted it a few minutes ago. Oh. Where at? Is it on Twitter?
Merry Christmas. From Banks, formerly known as Faze Banks. What a fucking terrible day. What a terrible year. I left Faze 5 months ago. And this wasn't for a narrative, this wasn't for the camera, this wasn't for Twitter, this was very, very real. It was off the heels of some Twitter drama, and the boys were, you know, getting blown up in their comms and in their chats. And as we all know, in this world, wacky, strange world of streaming, that's really all that matters. These streamers, all of them, every last one of them, are forced to appeal to their comms and their chats and narratives on Twitter. And if they don't, they lose viewers. If they don't, they take a hit financially to their career. And this has a huge effect on who their friends are, who they're in relationships with, all of it, everything.
Doesn't have a whole lot to do with what's going on with Faze right now, but he's 100% right, actually. Like, absolutely. He's right on the nose there. Yeah, he is right. A lot of the, not just streamers, but a lot of, like, creators online are basically just, like, prisoners to their audience. And if they, like, you know, hang out with someone that their audience doesn't like, they'll get, you know, blowback for it, so then they'll cut that person off or something. Like, they do have to basically appeal to whatever their audience demands, which is why you see so many times, like, the allegations of being fake and all of that coming up from, like, former friends or something like that. It is true. I mean, he's not wrong. Doesn't have to be that way, but it is the way that it is.
The way they treat each other online is completely 100% based and rooted in the feedback that they get in real time from chats and comms. So again, as somebody, an old man, 34 years old, you guys never let me forget it, who no longer makes content, who doesn't have a stream, who doesn't have his own platform, it's impossible for me to create a narrative or control my narrative or really respond. Not that I really give a fuck to anyways, but yeah, all this drama is created, and we get on a call 5 months ago and the guys are like, listen, we're over the drama. We think it's best if you just, like, publicly step down from Faze, just to cool down the drama online. I reacted very emotionally to this. I was obviously took it very personally and was offended because, again, I used my entire network, every dollar that I've ever made, everything that I've ever had, this brand that I built, I used all of it as leverage to start these guys as a content group and to kick this shit off with the sole goal and intent to bring Faze back to the top, which we did. We did that all collectively. Over the last 2 years, Faze has won Org of the Year twice. And yeah, I was the first guy in the room. These guys would have never lived in a house together if it wasn't for me. These guys are all at minimum 10 times the size in terms of audience and platform now as before they joined Faze. These guys have all made millions and millions and millions of dollars in the last 2 years, and none of them could ever dispute the fact. Max just said it himself on his stream. Joining Faze was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I've heard that from Lacey, I've heard it from Silky, I've heard it from Jason, I've heard it from Ron, I've heard it from Adapt, I've heard it from every single person that's ever joined Faze, specifically these guys. And I'm here to tell you, as former Faze Banks, this was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I gave up my entire adult life to this. I have put myself in millions and millions and millions of dollars in debt. I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my salary via Faze. Not selling it, not buying it, raising money. I've just put myself further and further in debt. Yeah, I think Faze to acquire and all.
How is that possible? I don't see how that's like possible at all. Like even just like all the ancillary stuff with Faze, there's just no way that's legitimate. I don't believe that. Like Faze has done so much for so many years, and Banks being at like the highest level of that food chain, he would have absolutely seen some of the upside to it. I don't know. I find that claim to be very hard to believe. I don't know what drama he's talking about with stepping down. I don't know what that's about. But even still, like there's no way he wouldn't have made money on the way out too. Like I highly doubt he just gave up his ownership for free, right? Like there's no way. He probably would have like had his shares bought back or something. Had his equity bought back by whoever's in charge there, I guess, whatever mystery entity is there. Like I don't know, I just can't see that. Yeah, there's also all like the crypto stuff, like so many things. There's no way that it wouldn't have made some people some money there, and I can't imagine Banks wouldn't be someone on the receiving end of some of that upside. I don't know, I can't imagine.
Costs for these guys' careers over the last 2 years, I think ballpark $40 million. And I think probably collectively these guys have had to have probably made like 20 million in the last 2 years collectively, I would guess. And not $1 of that 20 million has ever gone back to Faze. Never mind me. Even if it did ever go back to Faze, that shit, it's not mine. And I just fucking can't believe it. I can't believe I'm in this position now where people are calling for my head. People are wishing for my death. People are telling me I ruined Faze. I ruined Faze, guys. I ruined it. When I have had not one say in anything that's gone on in the last 5 months, and I set all this shit in motion in the first place. I ruined it. I ruined it. There's 5, 6 individuals who are multimillionaires and have beautiful careers ahead, and God bless you, and I wish you guys the best, and I ruined it. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, if we went in a time machine 2 years back and I decided to never try to fix this Faze shit, I'd be much better off. I'd have more money, and these kids would just be doing what they were doing before.
I don't know. Maybe on his personal side, things would have been better for him if he didn't. I have no idea of knowing that. I truly think everyone that's successful now from Faze would have still ended up very successful. I truly do not think the age of content orgs makes sense anymore. Everyone that was signed there was already people that were clearly doing well. I think it definitely accelerated their growth because it connected them to each other. But they also could have just organically connected to each other as well. I just truly think they would have been fine without Faze regardless. I just don't see a ton of value in content orgs in the big 2025. But as for him personally, maybe he'd be better off if he never did it. I couldn't tell you. I just really don't see how it's possible that he would not have made anything off of everything Faze had been doing. And I'm not talking about with like the success of their creators, but all like the brand deals, all the shit they've had for so long. I don't know, it just doesn't add up to me.
It's hard for me to sit here and take that. It really is. And I plan on going live tomorrow or the next day at some point in the future and really kind of just laying it all out. A to Z, start to finish, the entire 15-year history of this, specifically the last 2 years, specifically the behind-the-scenes shit and the dynamic between all the kids in the back end. Because I just watched some clips from this Black Boy Max stream where he's playing a laugh track over my tweet. And it's like, Max, I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer and your community included is so incredibly fake. You guys are
Wow.
the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career.
Oh, wow.
Max, these are your boys, but these are the same guys that said they fucking hated your guts after you left. And, you know, you're the program and you have an ego the size, you think you're Travis Scott and this and that. And also, like, Max, multiple conversations about how Ron's content's cringe and you guys didn't fuck with the dap. None of you guys fucked with Lacey or Jason in the beginning. You guys didn't.
Pretty emotionally charged video about everything here. I thought this was going to be more about like what happened to lead to everyone leaving. This is not shedding light on that. This is very much like Faze drama type stuff. Interesting to see that coming into this kind of video here. I'm just very curious what happened internally that's led to everyone leaving, since apparently Banks hasn't been with it for 5 months. And I thought that's what this was going to be about. This is very much just like a drama-related stuff. It's so obvious they don't like each other. I couldn't tell you. What seems like Banks doesn't like the new generation of Faze that he put on very much. Seems like they don't get along well. As for everyone else there, I have no idea if they like each other or not. I'm not their fucking dad. I have no clue. He is right about one thing, though, that he says in the beginning. Most of the internet creators you see, streamers, YouTubers, that kind of thing, their relationships truly are transactional, built on like what the community will accept or what the community is okay with, that kind of thing. It's all very superficial. That's not wrong. He is right on that. Whether or not that applies to the Faze group right now, I have no idea. But he is right. That is a legitimate thing.